Have you ever wondered why your life feels like a storm you cannot control? Every failure, every delay, every mischance is not random. It is the price of living unconsciously. And here is the danger. If you keep drifting unaware, you will spend years repeating the same patterns while the opportunities you crave slip away forever. Right now, every thought you think, every emotion you feed, every breath you take is programming the field around you. And if you are not directing it, then it is directing you. That is why your results feel chaotic. That is why success seems rare and distant. The field does not care about your wishes. It listens only to your state. Your subconscious is the broadcast tower, and it never shuts off. Pause for a moment. Think back to the last time you called something a coincidence. A job that appeared at the exact moment you needed it. The stranger who said the words you were waiting for. Those were not accidents. They were quantum responses to the signal you have been unconsciously transmitting. But here is the warning. If your subconscious is filled with doubt, fear, and hesitation, the field mirrors that back. You will attract more delay, more failure, more reasons to quit. Affirmations without belief collapse. Visualization without trust dissolves. This is why so many people never see change. The rare few who align their subconscious with their intention become unstoppable. They broadcast a dominant frequency, so powerful that setbacks cannot break. They turn into lighthouses, guiding opportunities directly to them. And while others stumble in the dark, they step into synchronicities that seem almost supernatural. Choice is brutal and urgent. Keep drifting and watch life pass you by, or wake up right now and seize control of the field that has always been listening. Ask yourself this. How many years have you already lost to hesitation? How many dreams have you buried under excuses? How many times have you told yourself tomorrow and found that tomorrow never arrived? The pain of living unconsciously is not just emotional, it is biological. Science has proven through the placebo effect that belief alone can rewire the body. Your thoughts and expectations can trigger real chemical changes in your brain and your immune system. If belief can heal a disease, imagine what it can do for your destiny. Most people live as if they are powerless. They wait for luck. They pray for a break. But the truth is this: you are already influencing the field every single day. You are shaping your reality. Whether you admit it or not, the only difference is whether you are doing it with clarity or with chaos. Let me tell you a story. In Texas, a single mother named Sarah found herself sinking into depression. Bills stacked high on her kitchen table. A hollow silence filled her home after she put her children to bed. She felt trapped. She felt broken. But in her darkest night, she stumbled across the idea that her thoughts were not just private whispers inside her mind. They were signals broadcast into the very fabric of her world. She decided to test it. Every morning she began writing affirmations, not with empty words, but with raw emotion. She breathed as if the life she desired was already alive. She visualized her business thriving and her children smiling with pride. Slowly things began to shift. A friend introduced her to an investor. Opportunities she could never have predicted appeared. Within 2 years, Sarah was no longer drowning. She had built a small company. She had rebuilt her confidence. And she had proven to herself that awareness changes everything. This is not magic. This is alignment. When you stop scattering your energy and begin broadcasting a coherent signal, the field responds. It always has, and it always will so. The question is, what signal are you sending right now? Look at your relationships. Look at your finances. Look at the opportunities around you. They are mirrors. They reflect the vibrations you have been carrying. That is not judgment. That is physics. You must feel the urgency. Because if you keep postponing awareness, you will continue to replay the same story. Days become months. Months become years. And one day you will realize the life you wanted has passed you by. That is the real danger of unconscious living. But there is hope, and it begins in this moment, the moment you decide to awaken. The moment you choose to broadcast with intention, rather than drift with confusion, you can create a dominant signal so strong that nothing can silence it. A signal that tells the field exactly who you are and what you are ready to receive. This is your turning point. Do not let it slip away. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not imagine that someone else will do the work for you. The field is listening now. It is waiting for your command. If you are tired of chaos, if you are done with delay, if you are ready to claim the life that has always been reaching for you, then act with me right now. Type these words into the comments. I am ready. Do it as a declaration to yourself. Do it as a signal to the field. Do it as a promise that you will never again live unconsciously. And while you type it, tap the like button, because every action you take reinforces your intention. Every choice builds momentum. Every signal shapes reality. The storm does not have to control you. You can rise above it. You can turn chaos into clarity. And you can prove to yourself that life has always been waiting for you to wake up. The question is, will you answer now? Or will you let another year pass in silence? The choice is yours. And the time is this very moment. Because the field never stops listening. And neither should you. The truth is this: you will see yourself holding the pen to rewrite the entire story of your life. Not a random life, not a life of repeating cycles, but a life where you are the author, where you no longer wait for fate to decide, where you stop believing the illusion that everything is out of your control. Ask yourself right now, what would it mean if every page of your story was waiting for your signature? How powerful would you feel if you realize that awareness itself is the hand that moves the pen? This is not philosophy. This is not wishful thinking. This is reality backed by science and lived out by those who dared to awaken. Take Oprah Winfrey. She openly admitted that her extraordinary career was not born from luck alone. It was born from a shift in consciousness. From the moment she stopped seeing herself as a victim of circumstance and started to recognize herself as the creator of her own destiny. Her awareness redefined her path, and once she chose to claim the pen, her story became a legacy. And here's the urgency. Every moment you live without conscious awareness is another sentence written by someone else, by your habits, by your fears, by your doubts. And when you wake up years later, you wonder why the story feels so empty. But the science is undeniable. Cognitive psychology has proven that perception determines experience. Your brain does not process reality as it is. It filters reality through the lens of what you expect and believe. When your awareness shifts, your world shifts with it. The same event can feel like tragedy or opportunity, depending on the story you allow yourself to tell. Think about that. Two people can face the same challenge. One collapses under the weight of fear, the other rises fueled by purpose. The only difference is consciousness. The only difference is awareness. Let me give you a story that will strike your heart. Michael, a veteran from Florida, returned home haunted by memories. He could not escape. The war was over, but the battle inside his mind raged every night. Doctors told him it was PTSD. They prescribed medication. They told him to manage, but nothing changed. Until one day, Michael discovered the practice of conscious breathing, not ordinary breathing, but focused awareness of each inhale and exhale. He began to witness his thoughts instead of drowning in them. He realized he could separate who he truly was from the storm inside his head. With time, the nightmares lost their grip with discipline. His nervous system calmed with awareness. He reclaimed his life. Today, Michael helps other veterans do the same. And it all began with the decision to take back the pen. You see the pattern here. The field responds not to what you wish for, but to the state you embody. If your state is fear, you write fear into your future. If your state is hesitation, you write hesitation into your days. But if your state is awareness and intention, you write power into every page. So I ask you directly, story are you writing right now? Is it one of unconscious repetition? Or is it one of conscious creation you cannot hide from the truth? Your relationships, your opportunities, your struggles, they are the paragraphs already written by your own awareness, or lack of it. And if you want a new chapter, you must first claim the pen. This is not a gentle suggestion. This is a call to action. Because if you do not wake up now, the next chapter will look exactly like the last, and you will wonder why nothing has changed. But you have a choice in this very moment. You can decide to hold the pen. You can decide to create with intention rather than drift in reaction. You can align your consciousness with the story you want to live. Type these words right now. I master my awareness. Let it be your declaration. Let it be your reminder every time you see those words. Because when you state it, you signal to yourself and to the field that you are done being passive. You are done being written by fear. You are ready to become the writer of your destiny, like Oprah, like Michael, like every human who has shifted from victim to creator. You are capable of changing the trajectory of your life. And here is the mystery that pulls you deeper. If consciousness is the pen, what then decides the color of the ink? What gives vibrancy to the canvas of your existence? That question is not for tomorrow. It is for the next moment, because the answer will determine how bold and how radiant your story becomes. So, stay with me. Stay awake and prepare to uncover the force that colors every line you write in the book of your life. The truth is this: it is your focus and your inner belief that paint the colors of your life. Chance, not luck, not some unseen handwriting for you. It is the fire of your attention, the sharpness of your focus, that determines whether your reality is painted in gray or in gold. Ask yourself right now, where is your focus? What are you feeding every single day? Are you feeding distraction? Are you feeding fear? Or are you feeding the vision of the life you truly want? Because here is what most people do not realize: the universe is not moved by scattered energy. The field does not respond to a wandering mind. It responds to focus. It responds to clarity. It responds to the laser of attention combined with the power of belief. And this is not an idea, it is science. The famous double-slit experiment in quantum physics revealed something shocking. Particles behave differently when observed. They shifted from waves of possibility to solid outcomes the moment attention was applied. What does that mean for you? It means focus collapses potential into reality. It means that every time you concentrate on a thought with emotion, you are shaping matter itself. Let that sink in. Your focus is not innocent. It is the brush that paints your world. And when you scatter it across fear and worry, you create chaos. When you sharpen it on purpose and intention, you create destiny. Now, let me share a story that proves this truth. Linda was a student at MIT, surrounded by brilliant minds. She felt invisible. Scholarships seemed reserved for others. Her family told her it was impossible, but Linda refused to scatter her focus. Every night she closed her eyes and visualized herself receiving a full scholarship. She did not just imagine the paper. She imagined the emotions, the joy in her chest, the relief on her parents' faces, the sense of freedom she would feel walking onto campus without financial weight. She focused with everything inside her. She cut away distractions. She trained her mind like a lens, and within a year, Linda received a full scholarship, not because of chance, but because focus aligned her with the opportunities she needed. Her concentration shaped her realities. Oh, I ask you again, where is your focus right now? Is it lost in endless noise, or is it locked onto the vision of your future? Not underestimate the danger of distraction. Every scroll, every wasted hour is energy scattered into nothingness. Every thought of doubt is a brushstroke painting limitation into your life, and you must feel the urgency of this, because your focus is writing your tomorrow right now. You cannot afford to drift. You cannot afford to let the lens of your mind blur, because every day you sharpen your focus, you collapse more potential into reality. You bring what was once invisible into the visible. This is why so many never see change. They say they want success. They say they want freedom, but their focus is on failure. Their focus is on lack, and the field responds accordingly. But you can choose differently in this moment. You can train your mind like a warrior. You can sharpen your focus like a blade. You can turn away from the noise and lock onto your vision until reality bends to it. This is not about perfection. It is about dominance. It is about creating a signal so clear, so consistent, that nothing can drown it out. Just as light pierces darkness, your focus can pierce uncertainty. So here is your challenge right now. Declare it. Type the word focus in the comments. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, because when you write it, you claim it. You send a signal not only to yourself, but to the field that you have chosen to concentrate your power. Imagine the difference 1 year of pure focus could make. Imagine the goals that feel distant collapsing into reach. Imagine the coincidences multiplying. Imagine the people, opportunities, and resources aligning as if guided by an unseen hand. This is not fantasy. It is physics. The field is waiting for your command. But if you hesitate, if you scatter your energy again, you know exactly what will happen. Another year will pass. The same patterns will repeat, and the same unfulfilled story will play on. So make the choice now. Stop scattering. Start focusing. Take the pen of your awareness and paint with clarity, because focus is the key. It is the ignition of destiny. And when you combine it with belief, you create a life that feels unstoppable. Here is the mystery. If focus is the key, what lock does it open? What hidden door waits? For the one who dares to hold their attention steady, that is the question you must carry into the next moment, because the answer will reveal the secret chamber inside your mind, the place where the true transformation begins. The lock is the subconscious, the place that broadcasts the real signal into the universe. Not the words you speak, not the mask you show to others, but the hidden frequency beneath every thought and every feeling you carry. This is the truth most people never hear. You are walking every day with a silent transmitter inside you. And that transmitter is shaping your life with precision. Ask yourself this. Why do some people attract opportunity while others attract only struggle? Why do some rise while others stay trapped no matter how hard they try? It is not chance. It is not luck. It is the subconscious broadcasting louder than any conscious intention. Here is what science has uncovered: the heart math. Institute has proven that your heart produces an electromagnetic field up to 500 times stronger than the brain. That means every emotion you feel is sending ripples far beyond your body. You are literally broadcasting into the fabric of reality. Pause and let that strike you. When your subconscious is filled with fear, you broadcast fear. When your subconscious is loaded with doubt, you broadcast doubt, and the universe mirrors it back. But when your subconscious carries belief, clarity, and courage, you broadcast a signal that bends life toward you. This is not theory. This is physics, and it is playing out in your life right now, whether you see it or not. Let me tell you about David from California. He was a skilled designer working in the tech world. One morning, without warning, his company collapsed and he was left unemployed. The weight of bills crushed him. Every interview ended in rejection. His conscious mind said, "I want a job," but his subconscious was screaming, "I am not worthy." And the field responded to the deeper voice. One night, in despair, he discovered the practice of subconscious reprogramming. He began writing new beliefs every morning while his mind was still soft. He breathed into his heart and repeated, "I am valuable. I am creative. I am worthy of opportunities that match my gifts." At first it felt empty, but slowly the words sank deeper than his conscious thought. His emotions began to shift. The weight of fear lifted, and his broadcast changed. Within 3 months, David received an unexpected call from a company he had never applied to. They had seen his past work and wanted him immediately. It was not chance. It was alignment. His subconscious signal drew the opportunity like a magnet. So I ask you again, what is your subconscious broadcasting? Right now, are you sending fear into the field, or are you sending power? You cannot escape this law, because the subconscious never sleeps. It does not care about what you say in the daylight. It listens only to what you repeat in the shadows of your mind. This is the invisible broadcast tower, and if you do not learn to program it intentionally, it will keep replaying the same old signal of your past. You must feel the urgency of this, because every day you delay is another day of sending out the wrong frequency, and every wrong frequency builds another block in your path. But here is the hope. The subconscious can be reprogrammed. You can send new signals. You can choose new emotions. You can align your inner broadcast with the life you truly want. This is your call to action right now. Type these words into the comments I broadcast. Do it not as empty text, but as a declaration. Every keystroke is a signal, every action is a broadcast. And when you do it, you remind your subconscious that you are sending out the right frequency. Feel how powerful that is. Because the moment you commit, your broadcast begins to shift. The moment you feel it in your heart, the field listens, and here is the deeper mystery. If the subconscious is the transmitter, what happens when your heart and your brain and your body all come into perfect alignment? What kind of signal could you send if every part of you pulsed with the same frequency? That question is not for tomorrow. It is for now, because the answer reveals the next layer of power, the secret of coherence, the way to send the strongest signal the universe cannot ignore. So stay awake, stay focused, because the next step will show you how to unlock the force that turns the subconscious into a magnet for everything you have been seeking. When you are in alignment, you become a tuning fork, resonating with the reality you desire, not just wishing, not just hoping, but vibrating in harmony with the very frequency of success itself. Ask yourself right now, have you ever met someone who seemed to attract opportunities without effort? Have you ever wondered why their presence alone seemed magnetic? It was not luck. It was not chance. It was coherence, the hidden state of alignment between heart, brain, and body. Here is the truth science has revealed. When your heart rhythms become coherent, your brain function improves, your creativity expands, your intuition sharpens, your clarity increases. The HeartMath Institute has measured this coherence in the heart creates a cascade of order in the nervous system and in the brain. When the heart, the brain, and the body pulse together in rhythm, the signal you broadcast to the field is amplified beyond measure. But when you are fragmented, when the heart wants one thing, the mind argues against it, and the body trembles in fear, your broadcast is noise, scattered, weak, easily drowned out by the chaos of the world. So, the question is, which signal are you sending right now? Are you the tuning fork of alignment, or are you the broken instrument vibrating out of tune? Let me share with you the story of Emily, a powerful CEO in New York City. From the outside, she had it all, a thriving company, a corner office in the skyline. But inside, she was drowning. Stress consumed her. Decisions felt heavy. Her mind raced at night, and her body screamed with fatigue. One day, a mentor introduced her to the practice of heart-brain coherence. Every morning, she began with a few minutes of focused breathing, placing her attention in her heart, generating gratitude, feeling appreciation as if it were a physical force inside her chest. Slowly, her heart rhythm shifted. Her brain waves followed. Her body calmed. And within weeks, her leadership transformed. Board meetings, once filled with tension, became fluid. Ideas came to her like lightning. She made bold decisions with clarity. Her employees noticed the shift. They said she radiated calm strength. What had changed was not the world. What had changed was her alignment. This is the power waiting for you when you bring the heart, the brain, and the body into resonance. But you must understand the urgency of this. Every day you remain misaligned, you are sending a fractured signal into the field, and the field responds in kind. Confusion brings confusion. Doubt brings hesitation, scattered energy, brings scattered results. You cannot afford to live like this any longer. Because the moment you choose alignment, you become unstoppable. The universe cannot ignore coherence. It resonates with you and begins to organize reality around you. Oh, here is your call to action. If you want your body to become a tuning fork that attracts success, declare it right now. Type the words "I align" in the comments. Do it now, not later, because each moment of delay is another moment of noise, and the field is always listening. Feel the truth of this. When you align your inner world, your outer world bends to match. When your heart beats with gratitude, your mind opens to insight. When your body breathes in rhythm with both, you step into power. And yet here lies the mystery. If alignment is so powerful, why do so many people never act? Why do they know the truth, yet remain stuck in old patterns? That question carries us into the next chapter, because the answer reveals the invisible barrier that holds countless lives hostage, the silent force that keeps even the aligned from moving forward. Stay awake, stay present, because what comes next will expose the real enemy of progress and show you why action remains the missing link for so many. Because procrastination is the invisible wall that holds them back. It is not laziness, it is not weakness, it is fear disguised as comfort. It is hesitation wearing the mask of logic, and it is stealing your future one silent moment at a time. Ask yourself right now, how many times have you known exactly what you should do but did nothing? How many times have you told yourself you would start tomorrow? How many times have you let a single thought of fear stop you from moving forward? That is procrastination, the invisible barrier that keeps millions trapped in the same loop year after year. It whispers to you that you are not ready. It convinces you that waiting will make things easier, but waiting only strengthens the wall. And here is the truth you cannot ignore. Every time you hesitate, your brain hardwires hesitation deeper. Your subconscious learns the pattern of delay until action feels impossible and fear becomes your default state. But science has revealed a way to break this trap. Mel Robbins uncovered it, and it is deceptively simple: the 5-second rule. When you feel the urge to act, you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you move. That countdown interrupts the old pattern of hesitation. It forces the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision and action, to fire. And once that part of your brain is activated, momentum takes over. Think about that. 5 seconds is the difference between courage and regret. 5 seconds is the crack in the wall of procrastination. 5 seconds can shift your entire destiny. Let me show you through the story of Josh, a young engineer in Seattle with talent but no progress. His notebooks were filled with ideas, but none of them ever left the page. Every day, he told himself he would start tomorrow, but tomorrow never came, until one evening he stumbled across the 5-second rule. The next morning his alarm rang, and he felt the usual pull to hit snooze. Instead, he counted 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stood up. That tiny action became the first domino. He began applying it to calls he avoided, to emails he postponed, to projects he feared were too big. Within months, his reputation in the company changed. He was no longer seen as the quiet dreamer, but as the action taker. Within a year, he was promoted and leading a team, not because of talent alone, but because he shattered the wall of procrastination one countdown at a time. So, what about you? How many dreams are sitting behind that invisible wall? How many opportunities have already slipped away because fear convinced you to wait? You must feel the urgency of this, because procrastination is not harmless. It is lethal to potential. Every day you wait, you lose ground you will never get back, and the cruel truth is that no one else can climb that wall for you. This is your call to action. Right now, do not wait for tomorrow. Do not tell yourself you will start later. Type these words in the comments: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it your declaration. Make it your ignition. Because when you do, teach your subconscious a new pattern. You prove to yourself that action belongs to you. Now imagine what would happen if you applied this rule every day for the next year. Imagine the projects you would finish, the relationships you would build, the opportunities you would seize. Your life would not just shift, it would transform. But here is the deeper mystery. If procrastination is the echo of fear, then what is the language strong enough to rewrite it? What words, what signals, what inner dialogue can turn hesitation into fuel? That question is the doorway to the next level. And it is the question that will reveal how to reframe fear into power, because only then will action not just be possible, but inevitable. That is the language of reframing, the power to turn failure into fuel. Not the end, not the proof of weakness, but the spark that ignites transformation. Ask yourself right now, how many times have you let a single failure define you? How many times have you carried one mistake like a weight on your back for years? How many times have you looked at a closed door and convinced yourself it meant the end? That is the trap of negativity. It convinces you that failure is final. It whispers that you are broken. It tricks you into believing that setbacks erase your worth. But here is the hidden truth. Negativity is not the enemy. It is the raw material, the uncut stone. And when you learn to reframe it, you discover that every setback is a stepping stone, every scar is a map toward strength, every wound is the very place light enters. This is not empty talk, this is science. Cognitive behavioral therapy has shown us that when you change the meaning you assign to an event, you change the way your brain and body react to it. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control the story you tell about it. And the story you tell becomes the reality you live. Think about that. The same injury can destroy one athlete and empower another. The same rejection can break one entrepreneur and fuel another to create greatness. The only difference is reframing. The only difference is the language they choose. Let me show you the story of Rachel from Colorado. She was an athlete defined by her speed and her strength. But within 2 years, she faced 3 brutal injuries. Doctors told her to retire. Friends told her to let go. She felt the despair pressing in. Every voice said she was finished. But Rachel chose a different voice. She decided to change the story. Instead of saying, "I am broken," she said, "I am rebuilding." Instead of asking, "Why me?" she asked, "What can this teach me?" Every day she spoke to herself in new language. She turned failure into training. She turned pain into information. She turned setbacks into fuel, and the results were undeniable. Her body healed stronger than before. Her mind sharpened. Her resilience became her greatest weapon. When she stepped back into competition, she was not just an athlete, was a warrior forged by fire, and her comeback inspired countless others who had been told they were finished. So, what about you? What story are you telling yourself right now? Is your failure proof that you are not enough? Or is it proof that you are being prepared for more? You must feel the urgency of this, because every day you repeat the old story, you etch it deeper into your identity. And the deeper it goes, the harder it is to climb out. But when you reframe, even once you begin to carve a new path in your mind, a path that leads upward, a path that transforms. So, here is your call to action right now. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not let another day be written by the language of defeat. Write down one limiting belief you will flip. Today, one story you will no longer accept as true. Type it in the comments. Make it visible. Make it a declaration. Because when you expose the lie, you strip it of its power. Imagine the shift this could create in your life. Imagine turning every rejection into redirection, every loss into lesson, every failure into fuel. Your life would not be a series of dead ends, but a highway of transformation. And yet here is the deeper mystery. If you can flip your own story and turn negativity into power, how then do you craft a story so compelling, so magnetic, that it pulls the world into your vision? How do you create a narrative strong enough to hypnotize not just your own mind, but the minds of everyone who hears it? That is the question that leads us forward. Because once you master reframing for yourself, the next step is mastering the art of storytelling that reshapes the entire world around you. By telling a story that touches both their heart and their subconscious, that is the secret. That is the hidden art that separates those who speak from those who transform. Because words alone are not enough. Facts alone are not enough. Only a story can bypass resistance. Only a story can slip past logic and plant a seed directly in the subconscious. Ask yourself right now, why do you remember a movie for decades, but forget a lecture the moment it ends? Why can a single story move you to tears, while 1,000 statistics leave you cold? The answer is simple. Storytelling is the oldest form of hypnosis. It is the rhythm of humanity. It speaks the language your subconscious already knows, and science confirms this truth. Neuro-linguistic programming has shown us that storytelling bypasses the critical filter of the conscious mind. When someone is absorbed in a story, their brain waves shift into a receptive state. Mirror neurons fire as if they themselves are living the experience in that moment. Resistance fades. Beliefs soften. Change becomes possible. This is why leaders are remembered not for their arguments, but for their stories. Think of Steve Jobs at Stanford. He did not lecture about technology or economics. He told 3 stories: about love and loss, stories about failure, and rebirth stories, about connecting the dots only after looking back, and millions were moved. Not just moved, but transformed. Students left that stadium with a fire in their chest because they felt his story as if it was their own. That is the hypnotic power of storytelling. So what about you? What story are you telling the world? Is it flat and forgettable? Or is it alive with conflict, struggle, and resolution? Because every story you tell either dulls the hearts of those listening or awakens them. You must feel the urgency of this, because if you cannot tell your story in a way that penetrates the subconscious, you will be ignored in the noise. And your truth, your vision, your mission will vanish in the flood of voices. But when you master this art, you become unforgettable. You hold attention in the first 5 seconds. You keep it through conflict, and you release it at the climax, leaving people changed forever. So here is your challenge. Right now, if you want to learn the art of hypnotic storytelling, make a declaration, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Do it not for me, but for yourself, as a reminder that you are ready to ignite this skill, because the world does not need more noise. It needs your story told with power. Imagine what would happen if you could move people not just to think, but to feel. Imagine being able to share your vision in a way that bypasses doubt and lands directly in the subconscious of those listening. Imagine the influence, the reach, the transformation. This is not a dream. It is a discipline. And once you commit to it, you will see doors open that logic alone could never unlock. But here is the deeper mystery that takes us forward. If storytelling is an art that moves the subconscious, then what structure, what framework, what hidden rhythm can hold the heartbeat of an audience for 90 straight minutes without letting go? That question is the doorway to the next revelation, because the answer will show you not just how to tell stories, but how to orchestrate them like music, guiding emotion, building tension, and releasing it into transformation. Stay with me, because the next step will reveal the architecture of influence, the blueprint that has held audiences spellbound for centuries. That is structure, the secret that traps you in a vortex of emotion and does not let you go. It is not random inspiration. It is not luck on stage. It is architecture. It is design. It is the framework that takes an ordinary message and transforms it into an unforgettable experience. Ask yourself right now, why can some speakers hold thousands for hours while others lose attention in minutes? Why can a film make you cry within 90 minutes while a lecture bores you in 5? The answer is structure, the rhythm of emotion, the rise and fall, the tension and release. And here is what science tells us. Mental rehearsal proves that the brain does not fully distinguish between real experience and vividly structured imagination when you place people in a story with clear peaks and valleys. Their neurons fire as if they are living it. The body responds, the emotions ignite. The transformation becomes real. That is why structure is not optional. It is the difference between impact and indifference. There are four powerful structures you must know. The spark line, which shows the painful present, the glowing future, and the path that bridges them. The hero's journey, the timeless pattern where an ordinary person leaves comfort, faces trials, and returns. Transformed the mountain, a steady climb of challenges, leading to a peak of triumph. And the nested loops, multiple stories woven together, all converging on a single powerful truth. Each of these structures is a weapon in the hands of a storyteller. Each of them holds attention like gravity. Each of them ensures that the audience does not just listen, but experiences. Think of Tony Robbins. For 9 straight hours, he holds thousands in a heightened state. People jump, they cry, they laugh, they confront their deepest fears and leave reborn. How does he do it? Not chaos, not accident. He uses structure. He designs the flow of emotion minute by minute. Every high is followed by a pause. Every breakthrough is preceded by tension. Every story is a loop that closes with release. And the result is electricity. The result is transformations. So let me ask you directly, would you commit 90 minutes of your life if you knew the structure alone could rewire your brain? Would you give yourself that gift? If you knew the design could break patterns that years of struggle never touched? Because here is the truth. People spend 90 minutes scrolling their phone and call it nothing. But 90 minutes inside the right structure can change everything. 90 minutes can reshape your beliefs. 90 minutes can ignite your courage. 90 minutes can hand you back the pen to your story. So this is your call to action right now. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Type these words in the comments. I agree. Write it as a declaration. Write it as your commitment to the 90 minutes that will transform you. Because when you declare it, you step out of passivity and into design. Feel the urgency. Because your time is the most precious currency you have. And if you do not spend it with intention, you will lose it to distraction. But when you place it inside the right structure, you invest it into transformation. And here is the deeper mystery that waits for you in the next step. If structure is what holds the energy, then what is the call strong enough to take you from observer to participant? What words? What command? What invitation has the power to turn a viewer into an action taker? That is the question you must carry forward, because the answer will reveal the bridge between knowing and doing, between watching and living, between hearing the story and becoming the story yourself. The call to action is the bridge that turns awareness into reality. Without it, awareness is wasted. Without it, clarity is powerless. Without it, your vision dies in the silence of hesitation. Ask yourself right now, how many times have you understood what you needed to do but never did it? How many times have you felt the spark but refused to fan the flame? How many times has your life whispered move and you stayed still? That is the danger of stopping at awareness. You see the truth, but you never embody it. And the universe does not respond to thoughts alone. It responds to embodiment. It responds to action. Here is what science proves. Every action you take reinforces the pathways in your brain. Neuroplasticity rewires itself with each decision. When you act, you carve intention into biology. When you move, you solidify possibility into reality. Action is not just movement. It is the anchor of transformation. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. He was just a student in a dorm room with an idea. It was not perfect. It was not polished. It was raw. But he acted. He wrote the code. He launched the platform. And that single step created a chain reaction that built one of the largest networks in human history. If he had waited for perfect clarity, you would not know his name today. Action turned a private vision into a global shift. So, what about you? What vision are you hiding in your mind, waiting for the perfect moment? What dream are you starving because you are afraid to move? Do not lie to yourself. You already know what it is. The field is waiting. The question is whether you will cross the bridge. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next week. Now type into the comments the area of your life you want to transform most. Make it visible. Make it a signal. Because when you declare it, you send the first ripple into the field. You prove to yourself that you are no longer hiding. Feel the power of that. The moment you act, you step into a quantum event. Synchronicities begin to align. Opportunities accelerate. Life bends to match the vibration of your movement, but you must understand the urgency. Every time you hesitate, you weaken the signal. Every delay fractures the bridge. And if you wait long enough, the bridge collapses and you are left stranded on the side of unrealized potential. Do not let that be your story. Do not let fear write your legacy. Cross the bridge now, because when you embody the call, the world responds. And here is the deeper mystery that pulls you forward. If a single action can transform your personal reality, what happens when millions of personal actions ripple outward? What happens when one decision multiplies into a movement? That is the question you must carry, because the answer reveals the force that does not just change you, it changes the world. This is the ripple effect. When one person changes, the entire universe trembles. You have seen it step by step, from awareness to the subconscious, from alignment to action. It all begins with you. Ask yourself right now, do you understand the weight of your choices? Do you realize that every decision you make vibrates outward? That every act of courage sends shockwaves into the lives of others? You are not here to chase change, you are here to become change. And when you become it, the world cannot help but respond. History has shown us this truth. Think of Martin Luther King Jr., one man with one dream. He stood on a stage and painted a vision so powerful that it lit a fire in millions. His words echoed through the subconscious of a nation. He did not wait for permission. He did not wait for certainty. He spoke, he embodied, and his ripple grew into a wave that reshaped a country. So, what about you? What is the dream you are holding back? What is the change you are afraid to embody? Because the moment you step into it, you do not just transform yourself, you give others permission to rise. You set off ripples that move through your family, your community, and your world. This is not theory. This is reality. Every movement in history began with one choice, one voice, one commitment. Now it is your turn, because the ripple effect does not start tomorrow. It begins the moment you declare it. It begins the moment you commit. So here is your hypnotic invitation. Type these words into the comments: I commit. Do it now, not later, because when you write it, you anchor it in reality and something shifts immediately inside you. The ripple begins. Feel the urgency, because this is not just about you. This is about every person your ripple will touch, every life that will be moved, because you chose to wake up, every story that will be rewritten, because you embodied change. This is why you must not stay silent. This is why you must not hold back, because your ripple could be the one that changes everything. So, here is your call to action. Like this video, share it with those you love. Save it for yourself to return to when you forget your power. And most importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next step in your journey. Because this path is not a single video, it is a lifetime of awakening. And let me thank you directly. Out of millions of choices, you chose to be here right now. That choice matters. That choice sends a ripple. That choice proves you are ready. So press the heart. Leave your comment, share your truth. And together, let us create a community that amplifies growth, that multiplies awakening, that sends ripples so strong the world cannot ignore them. Question that remains is this: if one dream could shake a nation, If one voice could rewrite history, then what might your ripple become when you choose to unleash it today?